Hello people, my name is Noros and welcome back to a new YouTube video. And in this YouTube video, I'm gonna show you a video that I've made about 1 year ago about one of my old manhunts, and I really doubted to upload this video for a year long until now, and I decided to just show it anyway. And the reason why I haven't uploaded this video and the reason why I doubted so long on uploading it in the first place is because the script as well as the recording of the video was not really in my liking. And even though I could redo the entire video, I put so much effort into editing it and I thought it would be a waste to just do it over again. I was kind of deciding whether or not to just upload it anyway or just scrap the entire idea and just ignore it. And I thought it would be a waste to let all that hard work go for nothing, so that is the reason why I'm showing it today. I would like to apologize in advance if this video is kind of cringe. I did make the video in 2025, so don't expect too much. And to be honest, I also had an AI generated thumbnail for this video ready, which is just kind of funny. But anyway, I like to present to you one of my best manhunts I've ever made. Enjoy. There I was, running with half diamonds and a few totems, getting chased by my friends who had only one goal in mind, my death. But how did this all happen? Back in February 28th, 2022, I uploaded a manhunt video where me and my friends started with some strong gear in the End Dimension. My goal was to kill the Ender Dragon. Meanwhile, my friend, aka the Hunter, had to kill me. I eventually turned this idea into a series, and oh boy, it was a very, very good series. The first episode started with one speedrunner against one hunter. After shooting the first crystal, I towered up to get a better view of the other crystals. Meanwhile, the hunter was distracted by Enderman. Eventually, I get shot out of the tower, but I survive with 2 hearts. My opponents tried to take advantage of this, but I was smart enough to pearl around and get rid of the sticky situation. Climbing a high tower depleted all of my blocks, and I was forced to use other resources to take down the towers. The hunter got a surprise attack on me and broke my shield, forcing me to retreat. Eventually I did get back to action and kill my opponent. It is important to note that killing the hunter doesn't win me the game, but killing the Ender Dragon does. Additionally, keep inventory is on, and that added with the infinite respawns my opponent has makes it very difficult for me to find some breathing room in this game. I collected some more blocks and pearled into the next tower, but the hunter jumped in with another surprise attack, causing me to engage in another battle. When retreating during this fight, I tried to escape by digging a hole, but that ended up in a situation where both me and the hunter were stuck in a 1v1. Not knowing what to do, we both started hitting each other. Both our totems popped. I knew I was gonna die if I didn't do anything. So I tried to use ender pearls to escape, but no matter how hard I tried, I was stuck. I would die, my friend would win the challenge, and the video would end. Except that didn't happen. I quickly realized I had some water, placing it above me to swing out of the hole and locking up the hunter alone in the 1v1 hole. Checkmate. I managed to take down all the crystals, but suddenly the hunter tried to kill the Ender Dragon, which isn't against the rules but kind of makes my job easier. Finally, I was the one who killed the Ender Dragon and became victorious. In the second video, I paired myself up against 2 hunters. This time, all the players get unenchanted netherite gear. But the rules are still the same. After joining the end dimension, I immediately had to jump off the end platform to avoid getting 2v1'd. There was a lot of lag, causing the hunters to temporarily leave the world. I used this as a head start to break some crystals, but unfortunately, as the lag would ruin the game, the hunters kept getting kicked out of the world. So much so that one even decided to just rage quit and leave the manhunt entirely, which meant it was just a 1v1 again. A notable thing that happened is that the Ender Dragon knocked me off a tower, causing me to miss my water bucket and lose my only totem. The hunter finally escaped the lag when I was almost done breaking the end crystals, and he challenged me to a 1v1, which I've won, of course, thanks to the lag. I got some good damage on the dragon and the hunter came back for another fight. Unfortunately, this was all the time the dragon needed to heal up to full HP, because apparently I forgot to shoot an end crystal. Nevertheless, I still tried beating the Ender Dragon and the hunter simultaneously, though that task would soon take a very evil turn. My opponent strategically lit me on fire while I was punching the Ender Dragon to its death. I first underestimated the damage I took, but I would soon come to realize that that was a big mistake, causing me to die and lose the manhunt over a very, very simple mistake. But that wasn't gonna stop me to make another manhunt. The score was now tied, 1-1. Me winning the first video and the hunters winning the second one. Moving on to 3 hunters, but no ordinary hunters. I felt so bad after my loss in the previous manhunt, I needed a redemption to prove myself. So I gave the hunters enchanted netherite gear and I gave myself just iron gear. Additionally, everyone got to prepare some extra items in creative mode. Every item except end crystals and elytras were allowed. And for me, I couldn't take diamond or netherite related items during this phase. With the complicated rules out of the way, I present to you 3 overpowered hunters against the test of my ego. The manhunt started with the hunters being distracted in the overworld, so I quickly took advantage of this to get a head start in the end. There, when pillaring up, I was caught by one of the hunters who shot me, draining a good 50% of my HP. This was the level of challenge I was facing. Another shot led me falling from the tower, as I quickly recovered with a water bucket and ran away to another tower, only after destroying it to be shot again with a punch bow. Running was all I did for some time, and eventually I drank some potions in hopes of fighting back, but that didn't help a lot. I was outnumbered and outgeared. Luckily for me, I came up with a plan before we began this manhunt, and that involved building a flying machine to the outer islands to get better gear, because eventually my iron armor was gonna break at some point. Unfortunately, the flying machine I built on my first attempt flew away, but after some trial and error, I made another one and managed to escape the main island without anyone knowing. While I was grinding end cities, one of the hunters decided to stop, making this a 2v1. Chest after chest, I got what I needed. And you might be wondering about the diamond and elytra restriction I gave myself earlier. But those restrictions were only counting in the preparation phase, meaning I can still get these things after the manhunt started. After I fully geared up, it was time to fly back to the main island, where the hunters were awaiting my presence. I will say, they did a pretty nice job building cages around the end crystals and spawning withers just to make my life harder. It took them a while to figure out and was snooping around the island, breaking crystal after crystal after crystal. But when they did find out, I almost died for some reason where I forgot to put my chestplate back on. After a 1v1, I successfully killed a hunter and continued fighting the second one, though the fight didn't go as planned. Even after popping another strength potion, I could not kill him. And soon, the second hunter came for backup. My armor durability started to decline and I had to retreat. I used my elytra to fly away, when I soon realized I could not see very well. It was so bad I accidentally fell and popped a totem, so I flew back in the air to change my brightness settings, but that's when I lost my momentum in the air and fell again, to my death. I just could not accept I lost twice in a row. Now the score is 1-2 in favor of the hunters. Now it's time for the next grand battle. This time, both teams get equal amount of material. 4 people had to hunt me down to my last breath, and I was all alone. This manhunt was so intense I even made an entire trailer about it. Nothing much of importance is to note on the trailer, so we'll skip right to the real video, which is longer than all my other manhunts. I was in a must-win situation with a score of 1-2. If I wanted to go to 5 hunters, I needed to win this video. The circumstances seemed against me, but I still had the courage to open up the end portal for one more time and get another sneaky head start. Although this time it wasn't very sneaky. The hunters have learned my little tricks, so they are much more alert now. To win this game, I'd have to think outside of the box. I had a hard time trying to get progress as the hunters constantly followed me every step I take. One of my opponents even wanted a 1x1 hole rematch from the first manhunt. Finally, I got very high to shoot the end crystals, but when I fell, a big chase followed. And man, I just could not take a break from these people. Every corner I turned around to run, a hunter appeared. Every tower I tried to climb, another hunter appeared. At some point I decided to mend my armor with some XP bottles, just in case things go wrong. And oh man, things will go wrong. At some point I had the absurd idea to challenge the hunters into a fight. But when I tried to heal, someone else outside of those manhunts had the audacity to call me when I was next to the void, hunted down by 4 people, causing me to be distracted and die in the void. So that is the end of the video, right? No, of course not. I didn't want to upload a 5-minute anti-climax manhunt, so we rematched. And the rematch turned out to be my most intense manhunt yet. After jumping in the end again, someone placed some obsidian to block my path. I continued breaking the crystals. Fortunately for me, we continued the manhunt in the same world as before, so all my progress hasn't vanished completely. Also, can we mention the annoyance I had to go through at this very moment when the hunters just decided to pearl on me every 2 seconds? Like, bro, why did I give everyone ender pearls? Then I used 2 brain cells to finally put my elytra to good use and fly around the island to shoot the end crystals that way. Though it did cost me a totem along the way. And when it was all said and done, I had successfully broken every crystal. The only thing in my way now was the dragon and 4 people in diamond pajamas. One of the hunters died under the name of my netherite axe, and so did this nasty enderman. A few hunters joined in and I eventually ran away. One thing of note here is that I was unnecessarily using my XP bottles to mend my armor. This will come back to bite later. I started doing my first bits of damage to the dragon, but almost every single hunter stopped me from doing so. I'm saying almost every hunter because Kastal was formulating a plan on the end fountain. Eventually he did chase me down along with Amar to punch me into the void, thinking I would die again in a few seconds. When I did fall into the void, they jumped with me, thinking it wouldn't matter as the manhunt would soon end. But that is where I was just one step ahead. You see, I made sure to eat enchanted golden apples, ensuring enough regeneration for me to outlive the void, causing the hunters to die and buying myself some precious time to think of a good plan. I escaped the void using my elytra. And when I was back up to the surface, I made sure to take an invisibility potion. The Ender Dragon perched at its fountain, but now I see what Castel tried to do. He made a higher tower, so the dragon would be at a higher Y level when it perched, making it harder for me to hit it on the ground. Very clever. However, I tried to place some water just to try if I did anything to the dragon. The hunters caught me up and a battle formed on the wooden bridge I built. They kept coming and coming to the point that I fell and had to use my elytra again to hunt the Ender Dragon down. This was at the cost of a lot of fireworks. I also got rid of the water I placed earlier. As it turned out, the water only destabilized the dragon, but suddenly my helmet broke. I eventually dove in for another attack, resulting in the dragon getting below half its health. Another totem popped as I flew away from the chaos. I was on my last rocket as I landed on the water tower the hunters built to destabilize the dragon. I quickly got rid of it and then I made the announcement to give everyone materials to build an iron golem. The reason why I'm doing this is because these iron golems were meant to kill the annoying Enderman, of which my friends complain about. This iron I gave everyone was enough to make an iron helmet for myself to compensate for the broken diamond helmet from earlier. Then, the most dramatic thing happened in the Minecraft universe. My phone died. So we had to postpone another session. And in the next session, one hunter couldn't participate, making it a 1v3. When I ran to the fountain to kill the dragon, I was surprised to see even more water. And this time, it wasn't placed anywhere in particular. It was in the air. Meaning it was extremely hard to get rid of it by purely placing blocks. If I can't melee the dragon, I'll just have to shoot it from a distance. I got on a nearby tower where I could shoot the dragon from a safe distance. Well, safe is a bit exaggerated. Man, they really can't give me a break. The sad thing was, one hunter could just fly around my tower, meanwhile my fire rockets ran out. After managing to get a hold of the hunters and shooting the dragon multiple times until it was very low, the hunters found a chance to break my leggings and start another chase. I pillared up this tower, which soon turned out to be my biggest mistake yet. The hunters kept shooting me, breaking my iron helmet, leading me to fall with half a heart left. I had one thing in my mind at that point, and that was running. With 2 totems in my hand, they all quickly disappeared. And the same thing happened to my diamond boots. I had no armor on, and the only thing I had left was an elytra and a dream. And that dream soon ended where a hunter killed me and the hunters celebrated their victory. The score of the series concluded 1-3 and the video ends with a message: I will come back. I genuinely think this was a great series, and even though I didn't win, this really goes to show how I was willing to raise the stakes regardless of my losses. And to be fair, every time I did lose, it wasn't only just a forgiving loss, I was also very close to winning multiple times. And I think this challenge greatly reflects my resilience, stamina, and ego. The 4 Hunters video was uploaded in January of 2023, but as it later turns out in November 2023, I've decided to stop my manhunts. However, now that we are a few years past that, I'm willing to give this challenge another try. But that is something I'll let you guys decide. Should I make a reunion match of some sort? Feel free to let me know. Anyways, that is all I have for you today. I hope you enjoyed the video and I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye.